I hesitated. What if he knows people there? I'm just curious what pack you're running from. His blue eyes flashed silver. My heart skipped a beat as panic coursed through me. It's okay. Let me reintroduce myself. I'm Alpha Dane Black. I wasn't halfway done eating my food, but I suddenly felt sick. I'm not a werewolf, I whispered. We were the only ones in the diner, aside from the older woman and the cook who seemed to be getting ready to leave. But I didn't want to say it too loud. He looked confused. Why do you smell like one then? That was enough questions. My mind couldn't process this. I was running from a werewolf as it was, and it seemed as though I ran right into another one. I jumped from the booth, threw down a tip, and dashed to the door. I made it to the car, trying to unlock the door, when I heard footsteps behind me. Shit! I spun around and saw Dane standing a few feet away from me. In an instant, I felt that same calmness washing over me. My heart rate started to slow. I'd never felt like this before, and quite frankly, it was a little scary. I wasn't trying to scare you. I'm just looking out for my pack, making sure you ain't trouble, but now? He trailed off, not finishing his sentence. But now what? What does that mean? Does he think I'm trouble? I mean, I guess if Kane decided to look for me, it might cause some problems, but I highly doubt he will. Look, you said you ain't a werewolf, yet you smell like one. I would appreciate some answers. He looked like he was holding something back. What it is, though, I'm not sure. Look, I'm sorry, Alpha Dane. I don't want any problems. I'm just tired from driving, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to try to find a hotel. I tried to be as polite as I could. I don't want to piss him off. I've seen movies about what happens when an alpha gets mad. He looked disappointed or sad, maybe. I wasn't sure. But it made me feel a little guilty for not answering his basic questions. If you can at least point me in the direction of a hotel, then I will answer you. And you have to promise it stays between us. I didn't know if this would be a mistake or not, but I was exhausted and I just wanted to go to sleep. His eyes lit up. I can promise it's between us. And ma'am, I'm sorry to inform you, but we ain't got any hotels here. But you're more than welcome to stay at my guest house behind Mama's, he said, pointing to the woman locking up the front door of the diner. So that's his mum. How cute. I looked around at the fields again. It doesn't seem like I have many more options, unless I want to drive for who knows how much longer to the next town. I sighed, nodding my head. You want to take your car or do you want to ride with Mama or me? He asked. The older woman was standing next to an old pickup waiting. It's an old dirt road, and it rained pretty hard last night, so it's a bit muddy. Okay, so he wasn't trying to be a creep. He just didn't want my car getting stuck. I'll ride with you, I suppose, but you better not try anything. I have pepper spray, I warned him. I'm not sure if pepper spray would work on a werewolf, but I would sure try it. I didn't get any uneasy feelings about him. In fact, I felt unusually comfortable with him. He smiled. I could tell he was trying not to laugh, though. He placed his hat back on his head and motioned to the large pickup parked at the corner of the diner parking lot. I noticed the older woman had already left, and it was just the two of us. I grabbed my bag from the trunk of my car. Let me help ya, he said, taking my heavy duffel from me. I couldn't stop the smile from spreading over my face. This man was just too much. Guess this is the southern charm I've seen in movies. I followed him over to the trunk, and he opened the passenger side door for me. I looked at the truck, then back at him. How am I supposed to get in? I asked him shyly. I'm on the short side, 5'3" to be exact, so I don't think I could even run and jump in this thing. He laughed, tossing my bag into the pickup and turning to me. Without warning, he grabbed me by my waist, hoisting me into the truck. It felt like shock waves blowing through my body when he touched me. I wasn't sure what was causing it, though. I really need some sleep, I thought to myself. I watched as he walked around the front and climbed in. Good grief. This man looked like a Greek god. The pickup started with a rumble. So, care to explain? He asked. I looked at him, still not sure I should answer. Let's start with why you're running. He was being patient and kind with me, something I wasn't used to. Well, it all kind of goes together. You swear it will stay between the two of us? I needed to hear it one more time. He nodded in agreement. Okay, so I'm human? It sounded more like a question than a fact. Dane just smiled. I'm human and I'm pregnant. There was no stopping now. I didn't give him a chance to say anything. I got pregnant by a werewolf and he doesn't want the baby and told me to get an abortion. He said, and I quote, I don't want a half-breed. So I left. I don't know anything about werewolves, and honestly, I'm terrified of having this baby. But I was given up as a baby, and I won't do that to my kid. I didn't know what else to do. I'm scared of him, and that's why I don't want it getting out that I'm here. I looked at Dane, who was now squeezing the steering wheel so tight I thought it would break in half. He looked pissed. I'm sorry. You can take me back to my car. I'll leave. I really don't want any problems. I turned to the window, trying to hide the tears streaming down my face. The pickup stopped in the middle of the road. Look at me, Dane commanded. I wiped my face before turning to face him. You are my mate. No one will hurt you. I swear on my life, please don't cry. He swiped his thumb gently under my eyes, wiping more tears away. I don't know what that means, and I don't need you to fight my battles. I'm more than capable. I don't know why I was suddenly angry, but I didn't want another werewolf to use me and throw me to the side as Cain did. I wouldn't let that happen. I flashed the porch light a few times before sitting down and waiting. Unfortunately, this gave my mind way too much time to come up with explanations for just about everything. Within seconds, I had myself convinced a rabid coyote was trying to get in the house to devour me. I felt like my heart was going to beat out of my chest. The more I thought about my heart rate being so high, I started to hyperventilate. Well, at least if I pass out from lack of oxygen, I won't know when the rabid coyote kills me, I thought to myself. A loud banging on the door made me scream right before the whole thing came flying off its hinges. Dane came running in, scanning the room until he found me. Relief flooded through me when I realized it was him and not some wild animal here to finish me off. He rushed over to me, his eyes full of worry. What happened? Are you okay? He questioned as he tried to look me over. His hand brushed a few strands of hair from my face, and I leaned into his touch. Safe. That's what I feel now. I could feel my heart rate slowing down and my breathing becoming steadier. Dane sat looking at me silently as his hand caressed the side of my face.